Hey guys, how you doing? It's Phil Bailey, creative director and founder of MCM Phil Bailey, the firm. Today we're going to be talking about Evernote. Some of you may know Evernote.com. If you don't know Evernote.com, check out Evernote.com. Evernote is basically a note-taking software. It's free, by the way. It's a free note-taking software, and it does more than just take notes. I mean, Evernote, quote unquote, from the developers of Evernote, is it's your second brain, and it definitely has been that second brain for me for over 2 years now. I've been using Evernote for over 2 years. You can see up here I have over 867 notes, which I think is a lot more than most people. It's an extremely high amount of notes than your average person who uses Evernote would have, and that's just off my personal opinion. I don't know that many people that use Evernote. I know a couple, mostly my teammates or my other creative directors. But I use Evernote for everything, and I'm going to explain the ways that I use Evernote, how it can help you out, and I'm calling this webinar Your Life Plus Evernote. You can see we are here in the Evernote desktop app, and version number is 4.5.7.7146. And they've made a lot of really cool changes in this version of Evernote. And so let's go over a basic tour of this Evernote interface. Over here to the left, you have notebooks, stacks, and let's see, yeah, basically notebooks and stacks. Here you have notes and note information. Down here you have the actual selected note that you're editing and you're working on. Over here we have tags and attributes, save searches, trash. We have a nice little advertisement down here. It tells you about new Evernote features. We have a notebook drop down, which you can select other notebooks, and you can select projects and notes within notebooks and stacks and all that kind of stuff from there. Then you have this format kind of toolbar. Has a lot of your tool notes, and not tool notes, but you know what I mean. It has a lot of different formatting options to edit your Evernote, which is what I use to make this note look a little bit better. When I first started using Evernote, I would just either clip pages from the internet or I would write basic notes, and I recently have been taking notes when I watch webinars on YouTube about marketing or about business. I will oftentimes take notes, and I'll have bulleted lists and questions and links to other websites and other bits of information, so that way I can come back to it at any given time. Now, Evernote is very much a time capsule of your life's history, events and school, work, designs, different projects that you have. It just depends on how you intend to use Evernote. There's many different ways to use it, and I'm just going to show you a few of the ways that I use Evernote. So again, this is Your Life Plus Evernote. What does Evernote bring to my world, and how could it help you? Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Modern Masterpiece. That is my brand, my global brand of MCM Phil Bailey, the firm, and you can also see it down here on my websites. These are hyperlinks that I used with Evernote. And philbailey.me is a personal website that talks all about me, my other entrepreneurial journeys, my personal blog, all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and dive right in. One of the features that I really like about Evernote is fairly new, which I haven't noticed before, which is this bar here. These are most used notes, and the way to get this is to if you have a note, let's see if I can find one, is actually a little device, this thing right here, that allows you to interact with your computer or your laptop with really cool touch gestures. You'll see a lot of this in new TVs and stuff like that. So with this particular note, I tagged it Leap Motion so I can find it in the taxonomy. When I want to search for this product, I can find it pretty easily. Also, Prosperity 101 is something that I want to have, so I have a Prosperity 101 tag to tag all the things that I really want. And you can see this is a web clip, and it clipped images, it clipped links. This is text, selectable and copyable. Not all images will copy and display properly, but it does a pretty darn good job. But let's say I want to have easy access to this Leap Motion here. I'm going to do is take that note, and this is actually list view, by the way. This is my favorite view. This is list view, but I can just take that note, drag it right up here to this bar, and you can see you can change the motion, the position of it, and there you go. So I have prepared a note which is called Evernote's New Features. So Evernote's New Features is a way, well, that's kind of a blooper, but Evernote's New Features is a note that I created, I should say. It's a note that I created, and I have here the version number, and here are a few of my favorite features in Evernote, which, let's go through the list of them here. Easy access to taxonomy. That would be here with the easy access to tag it, whatever you want. Webinar is one thing. Over here to the left, you have tags. These are all the tags. And the more you make tags and the more that you tag your notes, the easier it will be to find these notes when you need them the most. List view, as I said, this view that we're looking at is list view, but they also have up here the option to change it to snippet view, which is kind of a more common one you'll see in my other Evernote videos. I used to use snippet view, and it shows you a nice little snippet in this column here, and it shows you the picture and all that. This is a really cool product I wanted to have, and then it shows the main note here, and this is cool for some views. I think when I take notes on marketing and stuff like that, it's good to use snippet view. Or if I want to look at a few different notes, I can look at that view as well. But they also have thumbnail view. Thumbnail view basically shows you obviously thumbnails. What I don't like about thumbnail view is it seems to be a bit slow on this computer, and okay, so for some reason I had a little crash. Evernote crashed. I'm not sure if it's because I'm running a 64-bit OS and they're having compatibility issues, but let's keep going with the presentation. You can see here, updated 15 minutes ago, updated 40 minutes ago. This is a very cool feature to have. It tells you the last time you've updated a note, which is very nice. And as I mentioned earlier, we have easy access to notes here in this top bar. So if we click on Evernote's New Features, it gives us a shortcut to this note. And so as I was pointing out, we were talking about different views, and now let's talk about activity. Activity is a really cool feature, and this is something new. I haven't noticed this before, but you can see here I last synced Evernote 4 hours ago. This is where you can send emails to Evernote directly to me, or I can send Evernotes to myself that way. It shows you, this is anything with notes. It's very iconic. It tells you different notebooks or notes that I've updated. If I scroll down a little bit more, you will start to see, let's see, notes that were updated and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of like a service log. It just kind of shows you things that that your Evernote has done. Okay, so moving along, quick access bar, that's what we just talked about there in activity. Horizontal rule, something that I really like. Go up here to the top, you can see this here is a horizontal rule bar. You used to see this in a lot of the HTML websites, which separated different pieces of content. I really like this feature because it makes my notes look a little bit more professional, and I can separate, a header. Basically, this is my header, Evernote's new features, from the actual content. And this is cool that they have different bulleted lists. Now check this out. Here's one thing that's pretty cool. Now these are all bulleted lists by clicking on the bullet and the unbullet. And because these are bulleted lists, I can go ahead and click on the numbers, and guess what? It's going to change it to numbers to bullets. And I bet you if I want to just change activity 3 to a bullet, look at that. I can do that. Or I can change it back to a number. But you can also do Control Z. It recognizes keyboard shortcuts, so if you make a mistake on a note, or if you want to simply go back, you can always do that. Okay, added font capability. This font here is Commercial Script BT, and this is a Bank Gothic BT. These are two fonts that I like to use in a lot of my graphic design and a lot of my schoolwork or something like that. I just like these two different fonts. It's very modern classic. It's a very straight block kind of letter, and then kind of cursive, and I really like that. Then here's kind of like a Courier New, which is just a real basic like typewriter type font, and back again to this Bank Gothic. But here's a cool thing. Under the formatting options, you can see all the fonts that I have here. I have over 10,000 fonts on my system, and there's just an amazing amount of fonts here to play with. And one thing about fonts is I believe fonts will only work in this desktop. Okay, so we've seen a little bit of formatting functionality. We have indentions, we have checkboxes, tables, horizontal rules, attachments, recorder to record notes, and we also have double clicking to edit in a new window, which let's take our prosperity note, double click, automatically opens a new window where we can look at this list of 108 desires of prosperity, and I added a voice note in there as a piece of reminder of prosperity. So you can do a lot of different things, mixture of photos, web clips, text, bulleted lists, tables, check boxes and images, video clips, as long as it's less than 60 megabytes per month for uploading and downloading. That's the only downside, but it's not really a downside because I have never ever in my 2 years of using Evernote have I ever exceeded 60 megabytes of attaching files to the Evernote cloud and downloading back and forth. I've never had to need to upgrade, and that's why I really love that's why I really love Evernote, because their goal is to basically give you as many great features as possible for free forever. And they also offer you additional 1 gigabyte of storage for about $5 a month per one person. And if you have 3 people within the same group, you can sign up for a group discount. And if you have 3 or more, you can get Evernote for $3.75 or something like that. So it's a very cool thing. And I do have a few people that will probably end up being a group with me to get this discount, because I am just such an evangelist of Evernote software. I use it on my mobile app, on my Galaxy tab. I use it on my desktop. I use it on my laptop, and I use it on the web as well. I mean, you can use it anywhere, everywhere. And basically, one of the reasons why I love Evernote so much is because it's like if you want to take notes, you can use Microsoft Notebook or Notepad or whatever. You can use things like Microsoft Word or any other note tool. But once you save that one file, it's only saved where you saved it. With Evernote, I can write these files inside of Evernote, and as soon as I get to the internet or as soon as it's online, it's going to synchronize it depending on how often you set it. Mine is set till every 15 minutes to synchronize, and right now I do not have an internet connection, but I can still have full access to all of my Evernote details throughout the history of my account, which was since 2010. And basically, I can write as many notes as I want to on my either my tablet or my desktop, and then when I get to the internet and I synchronize it, it's automatically going to combine and merge the notes to give you the most up-to-date version, which is really, really awesome. And one thing to point out is, if you look at the mobile app does not allow you to download the full note. If you look at the mobile app does not allow you to download the full note. It only allows you to download maybe the top 2 or top 3 notes, and any note that you've started locally. You can always have access on the mobile app. But on this desktop app, once you synchronize and once the synchronize is full or complete, I can access files from 2010 very easily. If I go all the way down to 2010, here's the first note, welcome to Evernote. Here's a note right here, Carl Zeiss. It's an image that I captured from a web page, and it says this is an example shot to add images to the notebook. And so this is a full image, and guess what? I can click and I can save this image as, you can rotate, which I didn't even know you can do. I just found that feature just now by looking at it. But we're going to see how this works. See if it's going to rotate this image here. It's taking a little bit of time, but I'm going to let it do its thing. And again, it might be a incompatibility issue. I have no idea, but in this webinar, we just want to show you the real hands-on use of Evernote, its features, its power, its capability, and there you have it. It did do the that image adjustment of rotating it, which pretty awesome. And and that was a note that I just opened for the first time since 2010, and now you can see here I just updated it a minute ago. And this file is 1.1 megabyte. And most of these files are pretty darn small, and so you can see how you don't have to be scared with writing too much or having too many text notes or even too many audio notes, because even the audio has its own proprietary file extension that Evernote uses to compress audio, and it's pretty darn good audio. I can't unfortunately show you actually, you know what, I can. Let's find see if we can find something here, but I'll get to that point. But you have check boxes for a to-do list, just like that. This feature is really cool on the mobile app. If you want to make a shopping list, you can simply make a bulleted or a numbered list and put check boxes or just bullets, and then you can check them off as you go. Copy and paste forms and web content, very easy to drag and drop content from the web to Evernote, and it copies fonts, it copies as much of the styles as possible, as long as you have the font on your system and all the fonts that you have, and it should be able to get a pretty good rendition of what you have dragged and dropped. Another thing that I really like is drag and drop file ability. Let's go into C, and let's go into design. Now here's a lot of different designs for the Phil Bailey business cards. Here's the standard one, PDF. This is a 1.03 megabyte file, but I can just take that, drag it, go into Evernote, drag it to the top one right here, simply come down here, drag and drop. Now what that's going to do is as soon as my hard drive spins up, I have an external hard drive which kind of slows down things sometimes, but it kicked in, and there you have it. Now I have this note and try to, while I was trying to drag it, it looked, actually, this is weird. It looks like it's trying to extend this PDF. I've never seen this before. Well, let's do Control Z. I don't know what happened. Let's try that again. Leave a little bit of space down there. Get our file. Come back into Evernote. And drop it right there. You can see it just said sync failed because I'm not online. For some reason, you know, I'm not 100% sure why this, I mean, obviously it looks like the PDF is trying to open, but it's not rendering the PDF. Very weird. So anyway, let's move on from that. The last thing I want to show you today is the recorder feature. Now if we go to another note that I've already double clicked on, you can see here is the note, and this is what the record bar looks like, which is very, very nice, very attractive little record bar. Let's do cancel for now, and if we re-hit this button, you can see the audio will start to be recognized by the interface, and if I wanted to record, I can just hit this record button. However, it's not going to let me record because I'm already using the microphone with Camtasia Studio to record this webinar, so I can't really show you that. But what I did want to show you was a note that has audio. So let's go back to the snippet view. Again, that PDF still did not show up as an attachment. I think that may be a bug. No idea. Let's go ahead and leave that and see if I go back to it, if it does anything new. Nope, it just didn't attach for some reason. Very weird. Let me try a regular word. Let's try this image here. Usually images are pretty easily attached. There we go. So now I have this image here, and I dragged it. I'm trying to there we go. And just take this. Let's not do that. Alright. There you have that, and then over after that one, let's put in a horizontal rule bar. Alright. So now we have a barcode embedded into our Evernote, which is awesome. You might have an Evernote that is an event. You might want to communicate with your teammates in the event, or people that are following a particular notebook that you've made for people to follow. You can put in barcodes, and this barcode could be instructions to a map, or this particular one is contact information. You can see here in the snippet view, in real time, it added the image. And here is another image, which is a car. You can see an attached PDF there and an attached .otd, which is Open Office document. That's what I use instead of Microsoft Word. And let's show another little example real quick. Let's go back to list view and watch how this image just kind of takes over. Actually, that one's not so big. Let's go to where is that example? Right here. If we click on this one, here's something that I did on the road, and this image is actually quite big, but when I did list view, just look at how much of the screen it takes up. Now this image was taken from my tablet, and you can see pretty high resolution. I was able to draw on this image with Sketch, and Sketch is an add-on for Evernote for the mobile device. And basically this was an architectural project, but you know, you can see here that this list view has a lot of good features, and here is a lot of notes here. Just go through these. I really like this view. This one has a lot of notes. So okay, here's some about marketing. So here's a note.
Seriously, Internet Explorer i9 is not tight at all. But they do have a really big advertising campaign for the Olympics, so they must be trying to make a push. But I don't know Microsoft. I don't think we're gonna. I want to see a Google commercial. That's what I want to see.
Okay, so that was just me. I just made a little marketing blurb about the Olympics and the advertising that they spend all this money on. And so there you have it. There's just that note. And if you want to get rid of it, I can just hit delete. But if I want to get it back, I can just press Control Z. I'll get my note back theoretically. Edit, undo. But yeah, I mean, this is Evernote. I mean, Evernote is, again, it's a great app. I mean, print, share. I mean, there's so many different, by email, via Facebook, Twitter. I think that option is new. Then you have different shared notebooks, which I can't access over here because I'm not online, but you can see different notebooks that I have shared there. And I can go back to the account tab and all the different notebooks. And I have different inactive projects, some of the websites and clients that I work with. And these are different, just different ideas and different stacks and stuff like that. Stacks are basically stacks of notebooks, or stacks of notes. Which just reminded me, the last thing I want to show you is the ability to tag multiple notes. Okay, so right here, here's a few different notes. Here's sketch, and let's say if I wanted to edit multiples, I can hit the control button, and you can see it will allow you to edit multiple notes at once, which is pretty darn cool. And it actually shows you the snippet of the note. Now you can't actually drag these notes around, which I think it would be cool if you can play around and drag these notes, but that's not really the main feature here. The main feature is you can take these notes and either merge them as one, you can save the attachments to a file, or you can move it to a particular notebook or a particular stack, and you can add a tag, and let's just call this tag webinar, since I'm using, and you can see the taxonomies that show up as and there you go, webinar. So now all these notes have just been tagged webinar. And here is two really good pieces of, this is just an image that I clipped from Evernote, or excuse me, it's an image that I clipped from the internet. And here again is another, and here is actually a page from Pirate Bay, which is Adobe Creative Suite. And if I wanted to go to this link, I could just simply click here, and that would be the link to that actual file. And here's a meeting I recorded. There's lots of different things you can do. Here is one of my clients, Mississippi Sister Chefs. She's an amazing chef. And I know I said one thing, but here's a let's see. So one last thing is we're going to show you Evernote's OCR ability, which OCR is the ability for an application to read and interpret text inside of images. Now, let's search for modern masterpiece. And here we are. This is the note that I wanted to show up exactly. Now check this out. Now this note is nothing more than an image that I've clipped. You can see here I can do save as, rotate, and all that. Open with, I can open it with Photoshop if I wanted to edit it. But just look at, I'm gonna go ahead and do that again because I lost the highlight. But watch in this area here when I search for that again. Okay, so here we have it. So you see this modern masterpiece is highlighted within this image, and that is OCR. So this is the cool thing. So you can clip images, graphics, and all kind of stuff, and Evernote has the ability to OCR the image or a PDF and search directly in an image or a PDF, and allows you to show you where these different bits of text are. Now I thought it would OCR this Nike, which actually it does. Holy crap. This is actually Nike from the Nike logo, and when I tried it before, it didn't work. That is amazing, and that may be because of their updates, their latest updates. But you can see here that Nike is not recognized, but this Nike is recognized. This is a screenshot of one of my websites that I designed for myself. Pretty cool design. This the blog on the bottom, but you can just see this amazing ability to OCR inside of an image. And what that means for you is it doesn't matter whether you're clipping images from the web, whether you're saving a web, like full web page. Like here's a full web page that I clipped, and this is from a website called Crunchbase. You can see Nike is highlighted there, it's not highlighted there. So I don't understand exactly why it doesn't highlight every single instance like it just showed me previously. But what I do know, what I can tell you is it does an extremely good job of taking these images, taking this text, and this basically is like a form or some kind of a table or a div. It does divs very well, and that's just a big ups to Evernote. And I definitely recommend you guys checking them out, and I definitely recommend checking out mcmphilbailey.com and philbailey.me. I'd like to thank you guys for checking out this little webinar about Evernote. Evernote plus your life plus Evernote. These are just some of the features that I really like, the ways that I use it. Maybe it would inspire you to find some uses for Evernote. And if you do find some uses, definitely leave me a comment below. This video will be posted on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, pretty much all the social networks, even Instagram, Pinterest. So definitely keep following.